You're listening to the Simplify Business with Brinie podcast. I help simplify business and marketing for time-poor busy women who run passion-fueled businesses. Listen in each week as I share bite-sized business tips designed to not only empower you, but to help make your business life simpler. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Simplify Your Biz with Brinie podcast. I'm your host, Brinie. If you're brand new, welcome. I love hearing from new listeners. But a huge shout out to my listeners. It has been a little break that I've taken, and I do love hearing from you to let me know that you like new episodes. That's really special to me. However, I had to take a bit of a step away, and in all honesty, I went off to China on a group trip and went and refound Brinie again. I'd actually really lost sight of her and what I was doing and what lit me up. So that's a story for another day. Just wanted to let you know why there'd been a bit of a break, but I could rest assured I've come back fresh with a brand new reinvigoration for exactly what it is that I am here doing. And to that end, I want to share a change, a small but impactful change that is occurring under the Business with Brinie brand. And that is that my community and my programs and my business is now here to support mums to transform their businesses into unstoppable forces. Now, it has taken me a little bit of time to get comfortable with using the word mum in my branding. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I think it's really important to talk about it. For a very long time, I have struggled with being a mum first and a business owner second. And that's a lot to do with my hang-ups. Also a lot to do with the fact that I was working and running a business before I was a mum. And a lot of the communities that sprung up, certainly, over the last 10 years, really have felt, with the language mumpreneur, I have not resonated with that language. I don't view myself as a mumpreneur. And certainly the women I work with who are women running businesses who also balance children and families, they also don't view themselves as mumpreneurs. So I have struggled a lot to put that word into my branding. And I wanted to share why that is. So obviously I attract mothers, but I haven't liked to use the language. But I've done a deep dive search, and the only way I can help more mothers is to use that word in my branding. So you are going to see that a lot more. Now, if you're not a mother, I do obviously have a community of women out there who are not mothers. Perhaps you're a carer. Perhaps you think you're going to be a mother or raise children over the coming years. That's fine. You are absolutely welcome here. Because as you know, what I talk about, and which has not changed, is simplifying your business. But what I want to share today is why empowering mothers is where I'm at and what you're going to see a lot more of. So when I was in the corporate space, and for a lot of you know, I was wearing that suit and I worked for corporate FMCG companies like Master Foods, and then I was a corporate lawyer for a really long time. I got really used to working, 14, 15-hour days, whatever it took to get the job done. And when it came time to have a family, when it came time to think about having a family with my husband, we sat down and we had a really big chat. See, the thing is, I'm the eldest of 10, and I always wanted to have a career before I had a family. But then when it came time to have a family, what I couldn't understand or get my head around was how I was going to juggle my career and generating income and doing what I love doing and be a really present parent, the kind of parent that I always wanted to be. The two things don't go hand in hand. So we packed up, we went backpacking, and while we were away, we got to revisit ourselves again. You'll see a running theme. I tend to have to go out of where I am to find myself again. And when we came back, we both decided to step out of corporate and to start our own businesses because we could see the benefit there. We could see that being our own bosses was the only way in which we were going to be able to be the parents we wanted to be and generate the income we wanted to generate. Hugely scary shift. Absolutely. I was at the doctor's with anxiety symptoms. I'm not going to lie. And, stepping down from being a corporate lawyer to telling everybody I'm going to open a children's entertainment company because that is what I had always wanted to do, obviously had people thinking I was having a nervous breakdown. Anyway, so let's just cut through the first 12 months. Piece of cake, right? I could grow the business. I'm not suggesting that growing the business was easy, but I could throw all my time into it. Until all of a sudden, after I'd been in business close to 2 years, I had this little tiny newborn and this business. And I just was not prepared at all for the shift that a baby was going to bring into my working life. And that's because I had not been exposed to that before. I'd only ever been exposed to corporate women who had their children in childcare for large portions of the day, absolutely zero judgment at all. That's just what I'd been exposed to. And I was raised by a stay-at-home mum. So she was always around. And I wanted to be the parent that was around. But let me tell you, if I've learned anything, is that you can't be both. Okay, you can't have the 14-hour days and be the super present parent. Like, it just doesn't work like that. At least not for me. So if that works for you and you could make that work and you're listening going, Brinie, you did it wrong. Well, power to you. But it did not work for me. Let me tell you how unrealistic my expectations of motherhood were. I was booked to appear in costume 3 weeks after the birth of my first child. Yes, we can all gasp, because in inverted commas, how hard can raising a baby be? I'm so embarrassed by that. But anyway, this whole realization that I had a business and I had a newborn obviously hit, like a sledgehammer. And it was at that point I realized that I needed to take control of the business. So up until then, probably the business was taking control of me, right? I was a very reactive business owner. Yes, I had a team. Yes, I was quite fatigued because I'd been pregnant for the 9 months prior, but I hadn't seen the need to really be in control of the business because I had all the time. But once a baby came along, it was obviously so important to do the balancing act. And I remember my husband and I kind of sat down and looked and went, well, this is very different to what we had anticipated. And again, you can all be laughing at me. Again, I didn't have anything to go off. I didn't have any examples of what it was going to be like. I didn't know anybody doing what I was doing or trying. I'd only seen either the whole hog working the corporate with the nanny or the daycare, or I'd seen stay-at-home mum, and I didn't want either of those. So that was a real turning point for me in order to achieve my dream and my goal, which was only a very vague idea. I was going to need to make some changes. A lot of people say to me when I work with them, they're at breaking point. And I understand that breaking point. I understand what it's like to go, I've got nothing left to give. And so the reason this is so important, this work I'm doing is so important, is to share that it is absolutely possible to have a business, have financial freedom, be an independent business owner, and balance that alongside family and life and living. It is absolutely possible. But at the crux of it all is you have to have a dream that you are working towards. And what I am here to do is to help empower you. And this tagline, this took me a really long time. Wow, I sound like a hippie then, man. But it took me a really long time. But the essence of it is I'm here to empower women. I'm here to empower mums to transform their businesses into unstoppable forces. Now, I don't mean unstoppable as in huge global brands. I mean unstoppable in that your business, your income, your freedom can exist without you being in it every single minute. Because you have a balancing act. If you're here in my community, you are balancing. And it's not possible. You can't put one down and then pick the other up. You can't put down motherhood and pick up the business. It doesn't work like that. It is a balancing act. And we can't outsource parenting. You can. But if you're here, my guess is you don't want to. Okay? So when I talk about transforming your small business into an unstoppable force, what I'm going to share with you is what is possible for you to be able to do that without selling your soul, without generating multi-million, blah, blah, blah. I'm not here about that. If you want to learn how to generate 6, 7-figure, 8-figure businesses, I'll send you to those people. That is not what I'm about. I'm here to show you how to balance, how to live your life, how to follow your goals, your dreams, live your version of success. That is balancing a beautiful business that you are passionate about and motherhood. Okay? I have done it. I continue to do it. Let me tell you, my goodness, if I didn't have these skills these past few years, learning so much about my neurodiverse little family, would have been so very difficult. But it is possible to do both, not as a coaching business, as a small business owner. All right. So, what does that mean for you? So, my free group has previously been the Women in Biz Collective, has now been renamed to the Empowered Biz Mums Collective. So that is for you. I've got the link below. If you're a brand new person listening, please come and join us. I will be sharing lots more content about how you can actually become very empowered in your business as a working mama. If you have friends that you think would benefit from this community, please spread the word. This is a movement. And I'm really very passionate about this work that I do. So welcome to everyone. That is the shift in my brand. That is why that shift is here. And I'm really very excited to get to work with you as we move towards this over the coming months. Any questions at all, please send me an email, hello@business.with.Brinie.com. Otherwise, I really look forward to connecting with you over in the group, over my weekly emails, and also over on Insta. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. Links are below. Until next week, guys, thank you for tuning in. And as always, stay inspired and empowered. Bye.